Welcome back to the channel. Today I am looking at installing my air compressor for my airbags. So basically I've kind of laid this all out, kind of get an idea of how I want to run all this. This company is also Tough Country. That's who I bought this from. Again, it was for my Eco Diesel and never ended up installing it. You guys can see there the part number 91726, Tough Country. You guys can check all that out. Like I said, I bought this probably a little over a year ago. I honestly don't even remember how much it cost. It wasn't horrible, but pretty decent, pretty simple install. So right now I'm trying to figure out where I want to put this. I think at this point I'm going to end up mounting it down here. So somewhere right in there. That's where I think I'm going to put it. Originally, what I wanted to do with this was actually put it up here in my cup holders. That was kind of the initial plan before I fixed all this. But when I started measuring things out, this gauge is actually bigger than that opening up there. So yeah, I ended up scratching that idea, and that's why I fixed that and put it in the way it is. But originally I wanted to get some plastic that's similar to this texture and just cut it out, screw it in to that opening and mount the switch and the gauges in it, and it'd be right up front. Super easy to do. I could run all my stuff down and underneath and it would look pretty clean. So, and again, those cup holders, anybody that's got a second gen Dodge knows, especially these earlier second gen Dodges, those cup holders are trash. They break. You can't really put anything in the damn thing. So, and if you do put it in, it just bounces all over the damn place and makes a mess. So they're crap. They're useless. But it didn't work out that way. So that's why right now I'm planning on putting it up underneath there, which ought to make things pretty simple, because basically you've got a air hose from the compressor into the switch, which is here, and then out of the switch, I think that's right. I'd have to make sure, but I'm pretty sure this is the input side. And then you've got one that comes out that goes to your bag. So basically when you hit this switch up, it opens up and lets air flow from the compressor through into the bags. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's that direction. I'll have to mess with that just a little bit, but I think that's the way that goes. So the bottom one here, I believe, is the one that goes down to your airbags, which I'll tee in the back. So pretty much I'll have an airbag line or a hose line from here inside the truck out to the back. And then as far as the air compressor, where I'm planning to mount it ought to be pretty simple. I can bring all of my wiring and everything across the firewall over by the battery. And right now I'm planning to mount my relay and fuse this. So this will attach to the battery, go to the relay, and then you'll ground out the air compressor out here. Then that relay will go on up, and the other wire will come inside and attach to my my gauge here. So should be pretty simple. I shouldn't have but a couple wires coming inside the cab. So it looks like the ground, there is a ground, it looks like, built into this as well. So you've got this ground for the lights, and one of these is a ground as well. So you'll tie those to a ground here inside the cab, power from the relay. And then I am probably just going to light this thing up all the time and just tie it in with this, possibly. I don't know. I may try to hook it into my dash light somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not super concerned with that light being on all the time or even being lit up, to be honest. So we'll mess with that and see where I want to hook that light wire up. But again, not a whole lot coming in here, so ought to be pretty straightforward and simple. Right now, the air compressor, I am looking at mounting it, I think, over here on this fender. I've got a lot of room. You guys can see all the room over here on this side. So right now, I'm not sure if I want to mount it over here, kind of on this flat spot, something like that, or like this, and then turning that hose and bringing it kind of up and over. Or what I'm thinking about doing is actually mounting it here, like that, And that way that hose is going straight back towards the firewall along with the wiring, and I should be able to just run it up on the firewall over to that corner. So that'll be pretty smooth and pretty simple. So right now I think that's where that's going to go, is just right here. And again, I thought about putting it over here, but it's a little tighter. There's a little more going on. It's not quite as easy to get into. Again, that side, you don't have the battery or the fuse block or any of that. So there's actually a lot of room over there. And I don't want to get it too tied up, because if I ever want to put a cold air intake, I know that it takes up some room in this area. I'm not sure exactly where all that ends up. I think it's pretty close to the original stock area where this one's over to. But right now, I think I'm going to mount it here. I think I'm going to turn it just like that and self-tap it, actually, most likely into that fender over there. So that ought to be pretty straightforward, pretty simple. And I should be able to ground it out over here as well, and then bring my power and my hose line over to this side, and hopefully bring it in down here somewhere. I've got to kind of figure that all out. There are some looms there. There's actually one right up there that is open. So I may go through that, or I may try to catch where the hood latch comes through or something. Not real sure yet, but I'll find a spot there in the firewall that I can get all of that brought into the cab. I don't think there's anything on this side. Yeah, there's nothing real clean over there. So most likely, like I said, there is one loom or one rubber grommet up top up there that I could possibly get through. So I'll have to look at that and see what's up underneath this dash and where that's at, I guess. It's kind of a mess up underneath here. I think that spot, that dark spot right there, I believe might be it. So yeah, we'll look at that. Like I said, ought to be pretty straightforward. I'll kind of show you guys what I end up doing, how I mount everything, and yeah, I'll keep you posted. So I got the compressor mounted up here on the fender. Just use some self-tappers, pretty simple to get that mounted. I went ahead and put my filter on. So basically I need to get this grounded out here to somewhere in here, find a good spot that I can ground that to. I may just run another self-tapper or possibly bolt it in here. Looks like there might be something there that's threaded. So I may just run that right up here, bolt that in so it's grounded right there. This wire here, I will clip this end off. I'm not going to keep that. I'm going to butt splice here. I'm going to use my own ends, not what came with the kit. So the ends I like have solder in them, and they shrink wrap to heat them up. So I'm actually going to pull this on over to this side of the cab, and I will mount my relay probably right here. So I'll go in here and I'll show you kind of that process. So basically this is the relay. Like I said, I'll mount this on the firewall most likely. Just self-tap it kind of loose. And here's the wire loom for that. So basically this goes to the switch. This is just a ground. So pretty much you're grounding the switch out when you close it or flip it. It's taking one side of this white wire that you got grounded to the frame through here, which closes or excites the coil. This wire here will go straight to the battery. That's the power side for the coil side of this relay. So basically that closes this switch, allowing power to flow from this blue wire through to this yellow wire, which will go to the compressor. So I'm going to put the fusible link here. So this will go to the battery, this end will go to the blue, this will go to the battery, this goes to the switch, this goes to the compressor, and the orange isn't used. So hopefully that all makes sense. All right, so I didn't film a whole lot of that, but I do have the wiring. Black ground, got the air hose, and the power ran over here. That's a red wire, ran up along the back of the firewall there and tight in place. Got it over here. Right now I've just got this red air hose just kind of thrown in here because I've got to get a hole punched through into the cab. I've got this all hooked up, fuse here, and then tied into the relay. The relay's mounted, right there. And that yellow wire is what attaches to the red that goes over to your air compressor. Orange is not used, and then your green is what's going to go into the cab to the switch. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I got to get this air hose one in and one out, along with a ground wire or a wire off of the switch, which is ground. So basically now if I take this green wire, we take it over here to the firewall to a ground. You guys can hear that, and it's kind of loud because it's pumping air right here. But so yeah, got that all basically ready to get into the cab. Once I'm into the cab and I get a line shoved back out, I can take it to the back of the cab, kind of underneath along the frame, back to here, and then tee into my bag. So be pretty easy. I think I might actually start working on this line, getting this kind of ran, whether I take it up to this cross member and lay the air hose up on top and have my tee just over here by the fuel tank, and then I can run that on up, back up to or into the cab. So it's kind of where I'm at right now, but I'm gonna keep working on this. And again, I don't know how much of it I'm gonna record. I'll probably just show you guys, you know, the processes after I'm completing them. So cut back in a little bit. All right, so I got these fully installed. All the lines ran up here to a T. You guys can see that follow the top of that frame. Brought it over to that side. This side it runs down along the inside of this frame, up and into the cab here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see. Maybe right in there. It's not really wanting to come up, but there we go. You guys can see where I pulled them in there, ran them over and over the top. Over here to the switch, I do have one issue. Let's see, we can run this up real quick. It's a little bit slow, but we'll get there. So right there, we're right at 40 pounds. We'll come back to it in a minute, but it does have a slow leak. I'm not real sure from where. I've used soapy water, went around everything. Can't seem to find it yet. So I sprayed all this here and can't find it anywhere in there. Again, it's got to be pretty slow, but air line runs up and over the top, down through the firewall. You guys can see the other line coming out. So power and ground on the air compressor. Ground's grounded out the frame. Power's up over the top, comes over here to the relay and into the battery, and then that white wire goes inside the cab to the switch inside there. So pretty simple, pretty easy to run. Again, somewhere I've got a slow leak, so I have actually pulled this one or both of them, pulled the T's off, Teflon them, put them back on. I did have a slight leak there initially, but again, I sprayed the bags down, sprayed this side down, so I'm not real sure where my leak is at. But lines are all straight. I mean, all these are all new solid lines over to that T. So again, all of this line is brand new. Even the little black piece that was off of another kit that I had for another truck that was left over, but it's still new hose. So not 100% sure where it's leaking. I know like when you bump these, you get some air you can hear out. So I've tried even like pulling this one and adjusting it here to kind of hold it down. So half tempted to maybe stick like a zip tie down here just to kind of hold these down and see if maybe that's what it is. Maybe when it's pushed up over there, it's in a little bit of a bind. Again, this one here really isn't a lot of pressure on any of that. So I'm not 100% sure what it's doing, but you guys can already see we are down to almost 35 pounds just in the time that I've been on the phone or been on the video. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna pull the switch out in the gauge, make sure nothing's leaking on the backside of that, because that's about all I have left. And we'll see. I mean, outside of that, just going down every inch of hose, which, yeah, I don't know. Don't really know where else to look, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this. Probably gonna end the video here. I'll let you guys know what I end up finding once I figure it out. And if you guys got any questions on the install or whatnot, feel free to ask. We'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. So I'm going to throw this on the end of the video because I did end up finding the leak. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Yeah, pretty good picture there with the bubble. It is leaking on this little fitting here on the back of the pressure gauge, which honestly, this was all put together. I mean, the black piece I replaced, and the red hose I replaced going into that T because it was really, really tight and those were really rough angles. So I replaced that stuff, but that pressure gauge and all that came sealed, I guess, or put together. So I'll be honest, I really didn't check it out, but you guys can definitely, if I get that soap kind of around there, you guys can see that big bubble. It's not much, but it is enough to cause it to leak. So I'm gonna clean that up, loosen it, Teflon it, or check it out, see if make sure it's tight. Tighten that back down and we will see what happens. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a very, very slow leak. I can't find it anywhere on the outside. So hopefully that's all it is. So we'll find out here in just a second. All right, guys, so it's been a couple minutes and I put it up to 40 pounds. You guys can see there, just slightly above, and it's still right there. So I think that fixed my problem. I'm gonna go ahead and mount this back in, and yeah, we'll check it maybe in an hour or so. But right now, man, I think it's I think we're good to go again. So yeah, all it was that connection on the back. So a little frustrating that trying to chase it all down, it was something stupid like that, but I'm glad it was, and not, you know, a hole in a bag or something dumb. I did zip tie all these down as well, thinking maybe that's putting a little bit of a bind or something and causing it to seep, but yeah, all honesty, I think it was just that. So yeah, but happy that's what it was. Again, if you guys have questions on this, feel free to ask. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.